I was 18. My wedding day felt like a dream I hadn't prepared for. I was too young, too sheltered, and too innocent to know what marriage truly meant. My mother had prepared me for everything about the wedding: the rituals, the way to greet my in-laws, the responsibility of keeping peace in the household. But she never once explained to me what the first night of marriage was supposed to be. To me, the first night was simply about lying next to my new husband, talking a little, and then falling asleep. But reality was different. That night, when he and I entered our decorated room, I felt nervous but excited. The bed was covered with rose petals, and candles flickered gently in the corners. My heart was beating so fast I could hear it in my ears. He smiled at me kindly, but I was too shy to even look at him for more than a second. We sat on the bed. Silence wrapped around us, and I thought maybe we would just talk. But then, slowly, he reached out, his hand trembling as much as mine. He lifted his fingers to the zipper of my dress. The moment I realized what he was trying to do, I panicked. I had no idea what it meant. My innocence turned into fear, and before I could stop myself, I shouted. It wasn't anger, it was fear mixed with confusion. But strangely, there was also a small part of me that felt happy. Happy that someone wanted to be close to me, even though I didn't understand it yet. He froze. His hands immediately dropped. His eyes widened in shock and worry. "I'm sorry," he whispered, pulling back. "I didn't mean to scare you." I sat there, trembling. That night, instead of pushing further, he did something I will never forget. He took the pillow and blanket, walked to the sofa, and said, "You sleep here peacefully. I'll sleep there. I won't touch you until you feel safe." I watched him curl up on the sofa, giving me space. A part of me felt guilty, but a bigger part of me felt safe. From that night onward, he treated me with the kind of care I never expected. The next morning, when I woke up, the smell of food drifted through the house. To my surprise, he had prepared breakfast not just for himself, but for me too. Toast, eggs, and a cup of warm milk waited for me on the table. "You should eat," he said with a gentle smile. "You'll need strength to handle this new house." In the evenings, he brought fruits to my room. Sometimes he would place an apple or an orange on my desk quietly, as if words were unnecessary. Sometimes he would cut them into pieces himself. "Eat before you sleep." Every gesture made my heart softer. I had stepped into this marriage with fear, but slowly, his kindness began to erase it. Every time he respected my silence, every time he stepped back to give me space, every time he chose patience over pressure, I began to feel something new. I began to feel safe with him. Weeks passed, and I found myself smiling more around him. We had conversations now about his work, about my childhood, about silly little things that didn't matter but somehow made us laugh. One evening, the sky turned dark, and rain began to pour outside. I sat by the window, watching the world blur with rain. He entered the room quietly. For a while, he just stood there, watching me. Then he came closer. "Do you like the rain?" he asked. I nodded. "It makes everything feel alive." He smiled and sat next to me. The closeness made my heart race, but this time, I didn't move away. I didn't feel scared anymore. Instead, I felt warmth. When he reached me, his hand brushed gently against mine. It was warm, steady, and full of silent promises. Then, with trembling fingers, he reached for the zipper of my dress. The very act that once made me cry out in fear now felt different. I didn't shrink away. I didn't feel panic. Instead, I closed my eyes and let him. He moved slowly, carefully, as though unwrapping something sacred. The soft sound of the zipper lowering matched the rhythm of my heartbeat. My breath caught in my throat, not out of fright, But out of the tenderness of the moment, I could feel the weight of his gaze, not hungry or forceful, but gentle, reverent. He wasn't just looking at me, he was cherishing me. His arms slipped around me, pulling me closer, and I felt the warmth of his embrace. For the first time, I wasn't a young, scared bride, I was a woman learning what it meant to be loved. His lips touched mine, soft at first, then deeper as my heart surrendered. The kiss felt like rain, gentle, refreshing, endless. And in that kiss, I realized we were no longer two separate beings. We had become two souls breathing in one rhythm, two bodies moving as one. There were no words, no explanations, just the language of trust, of safety, of love. I melted in that moment. The kiss wasn't just about closeness, it was about trust. It was about two souls meeting halfway, about safety turning into love. For the first time, I felt secure in his arms. That rainy night became the turning point of our marriage. From then on, I stopped looking at him as a stranger. He became my partner, my safe place, my home. He never rushed me. He never demanded. He let love grow naturally, like a seed watered with patience and care. And I learned that love doesn't bloom with force, it blooms with kindness. Looking back, I realize how innocent I truly was at 18. How unprepared I had been for marriage. But maybe that innocence was a gift, because it showed me the difference between fear and love. Fear is when someone tries to take without asking. Love is when someone waits, protects, and gives you the choice to open your heart. My husband taught me that night not with words, but with actions. He taught me that intimacy is not about possession, it's about connection. And I will never forget that lesson.